Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear participants of the 5th online meeting of the Creative Cooperation Program, UNESCO Creative Cities of BRICS countries, Art Together. The topic of today's meeting is project activity as a driver of UNESCO city development. I am still Diana Kovela, the Program Director of the Russia BRICS Youth Project Office. As always, I'm glad to welcome you from our studio located in the Russian city of Ulyanovsk. So now, please introduce yourself in our Zoom chat. Please write there your name, your country, your type of activity, and your contact information. I kindly ask you to write in our Zoom chat your name, your country, your type of activity, and your contact information. I can give you 1 or 2 minutes. And dear participants, let me say you that if we will have to interrupt our Zoom meeting because of internet connection or another reasons, please restart the conference using the same link, please. Okay, let me remind you that the organizers of the program are the NGO Center for Innovations and Communication, the Russia BRICS Youth Project Office, and the Alexander Gorchakov Public Diplomacy Fund. As you remember, our program consists of 6 online meetings, which we are holding from July to December 2022. Within the program, 40 experts share successful experience of their creative cities. And today, we will meet new speakers from 5 BRICS countries, which are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And I am glad to welcome our first speaker, Zinaida Porozhnikova, Deputy Head for Social Issues of the Kargopol Municipal District of Arkhangelsk region. She will tell us about the Russian city of Kargopol, UNESCO City of Crafts and Folk Arts. Please, Zinaida Valerievna, the floor is yours.
Наш Каргополь – это маленький город на севере России с вековой историей и богатым культурным наследием. Он был одним из главных процветающих купеческих городов Руси XVI-XVIII века. Это город белокаменных храмов и уникальной деревянной гражданской застройки. Родина первого главного правителя российской колонии в Америке Александра Баранова и основателя первого нефтяного промысла России Федора Придунова. Помимо монументальных объектов культурного наследия, нам от предков досталось уникальное богатство. Это народные промыслы и ремесла, которыми славился Каргополь во все времена. Золотое шитье и кубовая набойка, качество и плетение из бересты, обрядовая выпечка и традиционная кукла-оберег. Один из самых главных брендов, которые оставили нам предки, удивительная каргопольская глиняная игрушка, аналогов которой нет во всем мире. На протяжении нескольких веков это старинный промысел процветал в деревнях Каргопольского уезда. Вновь промысел возродился в 60-е годы 20 века, уже в самом городе Каргополе, благодаря Ульяне Ивановне Бабкиной. Именно благодаря сохранившимся традициям, обрядам, ремеслам, с целью продвижения Каргополя на всероссийском и международном уровне через ремесла и народные промыслы, Каргополь в 2019 году направил заявку на включение в сеть креативных городов ЮНЕСКО. А 30 октября 2019 года наш город приняли в сеть креативных городов мира в номинации «Декоративно-прикладное искусство и народное творчество». Город Каргополь очень маленький, с населением около 9 тысяч жителей. К сожалению, у нас нет промышленных градообразующих предприятий, и поэтому администрация города, учреждения и жители активно участвуют в проектной деятельности, привлекая финансирование из федерального, регионального бюджетов и внебюджетных грантовых источников. Бесценное историко-культурное наследие стало основой, базой для развития нашей территории, точкой роста в комплексе мероприятий по сохранению и развитию исторического города. Итак, о проектах. Еще в начале 90-х годов прошлого столетия был создан Центр народных ремесел берегиня. В центре изучают традиционные технологии ремесел, бережно хранят обряды и традиции, выявляет и поддерживает мастеров Каргопольского района, представляя их работы на выставках, реализуя их изделия. На базе центра ремесел работает филиал областной детской школы народных ремесел, семейные мастерские. Мастера нашего центра выходят в детские сады и школы с абонементом «Мастерилка», выезжают в деревни и села, район с проектом «Ремесло на колесах», проводят мастер-классы для всех желающих. Сегодня в центре работает 9 мастеров по различным видам ремесел. В 2017 году при Берегине создано новое креативное пространство «Мастеровой дворик». Интересная идея, рожденная народными мастерами и творческим предпринимателем города Каргополя, нашла свою поддержку в рамках проекта «Иллюзия старого города. Перекресток времен» при поддержке благотворительного фонда Елены и Геннадия Тимченко в рамках конкурса «Культурная мозаика. Партнерская сеть». Сегодня на этом дворике под открытым небом можно увидеть выставки, ярмарки, как заслуженных мастеров изобразительного и декоративно-прикладного искусства, так и начинающих. Каждый посетитель может освоить азы многих видов ремесел. Для всех желающих проводятся индивидуальные и групповые мастер-классы. 2 года назад при поддержке Фонда гражданской активности в малых городах и сельских территориях «Перспектива» в рамках конкурса гранта президента Российской Федерации состоялось открытие Бабкиной поляны интерактивного творческого пространства, памятного места мастерицы, возродившей промысл каргопольской глиняной игрушки в России, Ульяны Бабкиной, на ее родине, деревне Гринево. В рамках данного проекта созданы деревянные скульптуры по сюжетам глиняных игрушек мастерицы, построена избушка, предназначенная для проведения мастер-классов и обустроенное сценическое пространство. В 2021 году выигран грант губернатора Архангельской области на проект «Тепло Ульяниной избушки», в рамках которого построена печь в домике, что позволит проводить мероприятия и мастер-классы и в холодное время года. Реализован проект «Лаборатория ремесел». Данный проект направлен на возрождение и сохранение традиционного женского ремесла, бытовавшего на Каргополе, каргопольская вышивка, тамбура, мышиная тропка, среди жителей Каргополья. Популяризация традиционного ремесла путем интеграции в современные методы, тенденции и запросы общества. Проект «Ремесло» доступны всем, направлен на возрождение и сохранение традиционного женского ремесла, качества на станке и бигде. Позволил людям, в том числе с ОВЗ, приобщиться к сохранению традиций и вместе с тем получить возможность дополнительного заработка. Проект «Вкусного погружения» направлен на возрождение и сохранение традиционной кухни, бытовавшей на Каргополе в конце 19-го, начале 20 века. Направлен на привлечение дополнительного туристического потока и создание новых туристских маршрутов. За период 2021 год специалистами в области народной культуры, методистами и мастерами учреждений культуры в рамках проектной деятельности издано большое количество сборников по результатам экспедиций и проведенной работе. Каргопольские потехи, Каргопольская гостёба в 2001 году, традиции Каргопольского края 2005 год, Каргопольские кадрили 2009 год, народные игры Каргопольского края в 2011 году, как на Каргополье старину свадьбы играли в 2013 год, Троицы на Каргополе 2015 год, Каргопольское узорочье 2017 год. Данные сборники имеют большое практическое значение в работе профессиональных сообществ, а также используются в учебно-воспитательном процессе образовательных организаций. Большое количество организаций, жителей вовлекаются в сохранение и продвижение ремесла. Многие годы в Каргополе успешно работает Каргопольский историко-архитектурный и художественный музей. Музей мастеров Шевелевых. Он был открыт в 2003 году при поддержке гранта президента Российской Федерации. Одна из главных задач музея – популяризация традиционного искусства Каргополя и его окрестностей. Здесь действует мемориальный раздел экспозиции, проводятся временные выставки, работает мастерская. Здесь можно увидеть традиционную игрушку и посуду, сделанную на ручном гончарном круге, покрытую свинцовой поливой или обваренные саладяги, специальной ручной болтушки, образы традиционного текстиля, а также изделия из бересты, дерева, кованого металла. Николай Фомин несколько лет назад создал притос «Медвежий край». интерактивный парк под открытым небом, в котором сегодня творческая мастерская «Узор» по изготовлению резных наличников резьбы по дереву, музей каргопольского наличника, ледовый терем, сувенирная лавка, дом пчеловода и большое количество малых деревянных архитектурных форм. Последние 2 года пользуется популярностью семейный проект «Марусин дом». Здесь можно увидеть уникальную коллекцию барановских платков. Платки с золотым шитьем и пестредину, грубо льняная или хлопчатобумажная ткань из разноцветных ниток, полосатых или клетчатых, деревенской выделки, обычно домотканные, шелковые и жаккардовые платки. Побывать на гастрономических мастер-классах по сказулям и пряникам. А еще здесь можно покушать традиционные для Каргополя блюда. И проводят здесь посиделки, спевки, практикумы и фотосессии в старинных костюмах. Еще один проект некоммерческой организации – создание фольклорного ансамбля «Справная хозяюшка», направленное на хранение народных традиций и вовлечение женщин в социальную активность. Участницы ансамбля выезжают в населенные пункты Каргополя и ближайших округов, где общаются с местными жителями, рассказывают о традициях и проводят интерактивные программы на фольклорном материале. В своем репертуаре они используют местный фольклор и лучшие образцы русских народных песен, хороводов и игр. Они реализовали проект «Пояс. Русский символ пути», обучили желающих основам качества пояса, подарили им возможность прикоснуться к народной культуре, осознать национальную идентичность, которую в дальнейшем смогут передать своей семье. Проводятся мастер-классы по выпечке по старинным рецептам, вышивке, лоскутному шитью. Одним из главных проектов всероссийского уровня по сохранению ремесел и традиций является ежегодный праздник народных мастеров России, который проводится в Каргополе с 1990 года. Его основная цель – это сохранение культурного наследия, возрождение интереса к народным промыслам и ремеслам. Главная фигура на празднике – народный мастер, человек-умелец, труженик, исследователь, человек ищущий, глубоко изучающий историю ремесла и традиции. В дни праздника проводятся мастер-классы, обучающие семинары, конференции, выставки, концертные программы, ярмарки и многое другое. 6-7 октября 2020 года в Москве, в Совете Федерации, состоялась выставка «Каргопольские игрушки», «Каргопольские бабки», где были представлены каргопольские глиняные игрушки Центра ремесел Берегиня, Беломорских узоров и династии Шевелевых. В сентябре этого года в Москве отметили праздник улицы Каргопольской. Москвичи и гости столицы получили возможность ближе познакомиться с историей, культурой и туристическим потенциалом города Каргополя. Состоялась презентация Каргопольского государственного историко-архитектурного и художественного музея, туристических маршрутов Каргополя, знаменитой глиняной каргопольской игрушки, изделия декоративно-прикладного искусства. Народные мастера из Каргополя обучали всех желающих лепки и росписи легендарной глиняной каргопольской игрушки, плетению поясов, гончарному делу, созданию щепной птицы счастья. Праздник был посвящен 2 юбилейным датам: 875-летию со дня основания Москвы и 85-летию со дня образования Архангельской области. Все эти проекты позволяют не только сохранить и приумножить культурное наследие, передать его молодежи, но и объединить многовековые традиции и современный дизайн, привлечь на нашу территорию туристов. Это возможность экономического развития для малых городов и деревень, создать новые рабочие места и способствовать самозанятости населения и привлечению дополнительных доходов граждан. Добро пожаловать к нам в Каргополь.
Thank you, Зинаида Валерьевна. Спасибо большое. Dear participants, let me continue. Our program is aimed at exchanging experience in the field of culture and art and implementing joint international projects. So please take this opportunity now to share your ideas with your colleagues, peers, like-minded people from all the BRICS countries whom you see here today. You are free to write your ideas down in the Zoom chat along with your contact information. Now, I would like to welcome Ms. Yadan Luo, representative of Shenzhen Culture, Creativity and Design Association, Shenzhen, UNESCO City of Design, China.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yadan Luo. I'm the Communications Manager of Shenzhen Culture, Creative and Design Association. First, I would like to thank you for giving me this chance to share Shenzhen's opinions about today's topic. And later, I will introduce an ongoing project held by Shenzhen, which is related to today's topic and can enhance the communication and cooperation among the UCCM members. Here we are all the members of the BRICS countries and members of the UNESCO Creative Cities Network. As we know, the UNESCO's Creative Cities Network was created in 2004. And today, 295 cities join the UNESCO Cities Network. We are a big group. And according to the UNESCO 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, we should promote, demonstrate, reinforce the role of creativity as the catalyst for building more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive cities. So the point is how to make us creative cities work together to promote sustainable development. One of the best ways is doing some projects that can connect UCC and members and make as many people as possible participate in this project. And in my presentation next, I will introduce some projects of Shenzhen, which we truly think is effectively drive UNESCO city development. I'm gonna share my screen with some slides. So in today's presentation, I would like to show you why Shenzhen has become a UNESCO city of design. After this presentation, we will know Shenzhen's past, present, and future as a city of design. This presentation is divided into 3 parts, and let's get started by looking at the Shenzhen miracle. First, I would like to introduce Shenzhen's location to you all. On the left side picture, we can see Shenzhen is in the south of China. On the right side picture, we can see Shenzhen is neighboring with Hong Kong. Since the 1980s, Shenzhen became the first special economic zone in China. And this was an old picture. Shenzhen was a fishing village in 40 years ago. And nowadays, Shenzhen become a young city with fast-growing economy with 7 million population. It's a lot of people. On the left side, we can see some statistics about the creative industry in Shenzhen. By 2020, around 100 billion RMB, 14 billion US dollars of creative income, and 15,000 design organizations in Shenzhen, 100,000 creative talents, and around 20 national or regional design centers. So from the past to the current Shenzhen, we can feel the Shenzhen miracle and the Shenzhen speed. And before we move into the next part, I would like to show you an interesting fact, the average age of Shenzhen's resident. Can you believe the average age of Shenzhen resident was 32.5 years old by the end of the 2021? And maybe this is one of the reasons why Shenzhen is the birthplace of Chinese modern design, including the graphic, interior, fashion, architecture, and so on. Now, we also have a lot of excellent projects. I just give some example today. The first example is Shenzhen Design Week. This is the last edition. The theme was Design for Sustainability. At that time, more than 100 top designers and 5,000 design projects and over 115,000 visitors participate in this project. And the second one is Shenzhen Global Design Award. The winner who can get the grand award, the prize is the 200,000 US dollars. And the total prize money of this award is up to 1.32 million euro, or the 1.4 million US dollars. Now I hope you can put attention more in this project, Shenzhen Design Award for Young Talents, because it's an ongoing project. We are calling for entrance now. I would like to show the last edition. The theme was inclusive design, and at that time, more than 5,000 participants took part in this project. And the winner, she is from the Cape Town, South Africa, one of our BRICS members countries. This is her project. The name is We Learn by Talking Together. I just briefly introduce her project. She aims to create opportunities for learning by focus on environments where children and their guardians are naturally together. In this case, the supermarket, turning a necessary chore into an opportunities for learning, which is effortless and fun for both children and their guardians. This is our current edition, the 5th days. We are calling for entries, and for the people who can sign up this project, like we are target for the people who from the member cities of UNESCO Creative Cities Network. And for the requirement of age, should be like age below 35. But for the architecture design team, the age just below the 40 is fine. And today's and the current one, the theme is sustainable design. And there are the several categories: communication, interactive media, spatial design, fashion design, industry design, public service design, and others. And now we can look at the prize. There are 3 different prizes. For the professional teams, there are 2 awards, Grand Award and Merit Award. For students, there is a New Star Award. For the nominator, the best nominator can be up to 3. And this is the timetable. And please, we are still calling for entries worldwide. The deadline is 31 December this year. And apart from some excellent project held by Shenzhen, I would like to introduce the features of Shenzhen design in detail more. And one of the features is we have a lot of like really good creative parts. On the left side, the top one is one of the creative parts. And this one is, the name is Civil Culture and Arts Center, is also a museum who got the best museum by the Culture Life Matters. Also got also was the top 100 greatest place of the world by Time magazine. And the second feature of Shenzhen design is the Shenzhen design industry enjoy the high degree of autonomy. These are some major associations like the Graphic Design Association, Industry Association, and so on. And the third feature of Shenzhen design is that public are highly engaged. It's quite important. And now let's move to the final part, future of Shenzhen design. According to the proposal on promoting the future development of Shenzhen creative and design industry, there are some major goals we showed here, like by the 2035, 300 billion RMB of creative income, and Shenzhen design goes globally, and so on. So we set the several goals. We just want to promote Shenzhen design and make Shenzhen's design better and better. And this zone is called the Great Bay Zone. Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Macau, 3 cities, they combine together. Then we call them the Great Bay Area. And according to the outline development plan for the Greater Bay Area, the full name is Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Great Bay Area. Sorry. So the goal, one of the goals is that this outline defines Shenzhen as striving to become a capital of innovation and creative with global influence. At the bottom, we show some events held by the Greater Bay Area. And next, I show some comments about the Shenzhen design. The first comment is that Shenzhen design has gained a wide influence around the global, and another comment is as young as Shenzhen design this kind of thing, and from the David growth. So that's all. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, just please feel free to ask me. And also you can send me email if you have further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Yadan, for your very interesting presentation. Dear participants, do you have any question to Ms. Yadan? You can write them to our Zoom chat. Okay. So, Ms. Yadan, please stay with us because maybe question will be written a bit later. Dear participants, as you already know, the BRICS countries are represented in the UNESCO Creative Cities Network by 41 cities. You will have the opportunity to get acquainted with most of these cities within our Creative Cooperation Program, UNESCO Creative Cities of BRICS countries, Art Together. Of course, I'm happy to see representatives of other countries here as well. The previous 4 meetings have gathered 223 representatives from 22 countries of the world. And it's really wonderful that such programs allow so many different people from different parts of the world to meet each other and share their creative experience. I suggest we take a picture all together right now. So please turn your cameras on and let's take a group photo. Please, please, please turn your cameras on and make the screenshots, or you can make a photo of your screen. Yes, turn your cameras on. I kindly ask you. Okay. Show us your smiles, please. Fingers. Show us your mood. Okay, okay, we are waiting. Cameras on. Group photo. Shoot. Okay, let's continue. And now let me welcome our next speaker. I am glad to give the floor to Piyush Desai, urban planner, architect, member of BRICS CCI, associate member of Indian Council of Architects, Srinagar, UNESCO City of Crafts and Folk Arts, India. Piyush, can you hear us? The floor is yours.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. First of all, I would like to thank thank the organizers and all for inviting me to speak on such a topic. So first of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Piyush Desai, and I am an architect and urban planner from the prestigious School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi. And I've been working for a lot of NGOs regarding the youth corporation and all those things. So let me start by the city which is going to which I'm going to speak on is Srinagar, crafts and folk arts. So basically, it's going to be a UNESCO creative city. Next slide. Yeah, so basically Srinagar is located in the northernmost part of the Jammu and Kashmir. So if you see in the map over here on the left hand side, you will see that Srinagar is located in the extremely northern mountainous region of the North India. And yes, so yes, next slide. So you can go to the next slide. Yes. So speaking about Srinagar, you will see that the Kashmir Valley, it is located in the Kashmir Valley, and the Kashmir Valley is basically known for its blending multiple cultural and the rich heritages. So apart from this, Kashmir and the Srinagar Valley is basically is known for its geographical and historical importance. And Srinagar, which is the capital of the Jammu and the Kashmir state, is also known for the worldwide for its unique handicrafts and the handloom products. And therefore it is quite efficient in its products, and it is worldwide famous also. And the Kashmir region, basically it is also an important learning center of the Persian and the Sanskrit languages, and it is also the center of the origin where the Srinagar and the Jammu Kashmir area has been the center of the origin of the Indo-Aryan civilization, which was flourished during the medieval times. So, and also during the most uh, and also during that particular time, the cultural aspects of the Srinagar has been also influenced by the traditions and the cultures of Islam. This is a Muslim community. And so basically this presentation is going to speak about the culture and the Srinagar, which includes its people, the cultural foods, the traditional songs, dance, arts and crafts, and the handicraft products. Next slide. So let me come to the introduction on introduction on this Srinagar. So first of all, I would like to explain that in November 2021, Srinagar was has become a part of the UNESCO Creative Cities Network, and which has also entered into the club of the 295 Creative Cities Network all across the world. So UNESCO this year has picked up the summer capital of Jammu and Kashmir along with the 49 cities. So the Srinagar became the second Indian city after Jaipur, which has got selected under the crafts and the folk arts category. Now the Srinagar has also been qualified because of its crafts and the folk arts and its unique tradition and culture. Okay, and also because of the beauty of its city. Now, being one of the most famous tourist destinations in this country, the tourists from all over the world come to this particular city, and because so that they can buy a lot of variety of handicrafts products. Like example, I'll give you the pashma shawls, the carpets, the hand woven rugs, the woolen items, the embroidered stoles and jackets, and the wooden carvings. I will come to the details of this in my later presentation. And also traditionally speaking, the designers of the Srinagar Valley, they have been heavily influenced by the Persian art, the Central Asia, Mughals, and even the tribal the Tibetan art forms. Next slide. Yeah, now so what are the main handicrafts, like handicrafts and the art forms which are available in Srinagar, and that's why it makes this place very unique. One is the pashma shawls and the dress materials, which becomes one of the popular items in this place. Then we have the carpets and the hand woven rugs, woolen items, the jackets, scarves, and all those things. Then we have the namdas and the saris, then the dress materials and the and other art related works. Then we have the silk saris and other silk materials, then embroidered handbags, purses, files, which also has become included in the specialities of the Srinagar place. Then we have the silver utensils, the silver jewelry, silver showpieces, photo frames, and the silverware, brass lamp slides, brass showpieces. The picture which you see on the right hand side on the top is basically a brass showpiece. So basically this is a very important kind of a showpiece which is found in Srinagar. And we also have the paper matchy items like the match boxes, jewelry boxes, vases, which also becomes one of the specialty items into this region. Next slide. Then I'll speak on the 7 traditional handicrafts because of which this Srinagar has been chosen as one of the UNESCO creative cities. You can go on the next slide. So the first item which I'm going to speak on is paper mache. Yeah, so the first item which I'm going to speak on is the paper mache. So the name which basically this name was basically given by the French traders in the 15th century in the arts of, sorry. Yeah. So because of its delicate designs. So this is internationally recognized craft, which was Sultan Zaid ul Aladin, uh, Adadin. So in the 15th century in the Central Asia region. So then we have the Shah Hamdan Mosque in the first, which was the first mosque where its walls and the ceilings were decorated by using the paper mache art. So there are various other kinds of paper mache products also available in Srinagar, from jewelry boxes to tea pots, then the willow baskets and the executive elephants, which you saw on the earlier image, and then the gold leaf and the willow work. Then coming to the second product is the Kani Sozni, which this is basically a Kani woven shawl, which is embroidered using the Sozni embroidery. So the embroidery which is used into this particular image over here is called Sozni technique. And the final product after the embroidery work is known as the Kani Sozni. So after the intricate needle work and the minute details of this, they draw the details of the lotus flower, almond blossoms, and the chinar leaves, so that it gives an embossed look. So the family of Shabir Ali Beg in Srinagar is basically is famous for producing fine embroideries, where contemporary as well as the traditional pattern designs are made. And then the Kani Sozni works with monochrome palettes are delicate designs, are they are quite expensive. So you can go to the next slide. Yeah, so the next product which we have is carpets and rugs and the copper work. So first I will talk about the carpets and rugs. So basically in the Kashmir, the material which is used for carpets and rugs, the Kashmiri silk and the woolen carpets, which is basically fine in material, and their designs are very intrinsic and very detailed. So the carpets are basically handmade and they are hand knotted and intricately designed. So basically this photo is of the traditionally Kashmir artisan in the when it is weaved. So nowadays a lot of younger generation artists have added like new designs and modern designs, where the slowly the traditional designs are going for a, it's quite going. Then we have the copper work. Then in this copper work, there are very minute fine details which are carved, and the details are in the form of calligraphy or a love poem or a religious poem and traditional words from the Quran, which is written in the Kashmiri language using the Arabic or the Persian script. So this tradition of engraving the copper vessels can be basically found in the Arctic replicas in the traditional vessels in the narrow lanes of Srinagar's old city. So basically it is found in the old city. Yeah, next. Then we have the willow witcher craft. So locally, this is known as a shazazi. It uses the twigs of the willow plant as a raw materials to create the everyday utility products to carry items from one place to another place. And then it is also used in the vases, chairs, kangari, etc. Then we have the walnut wood carving, which is basically a carving which is done. It's done in karkhanas, which is called the wooden carving workshops, and it is basically found in the old town of Srinagar. And a lot of then we also then this a lot of training has been also done for the local skilled youth of Srinagar so that they can come up with this kind of skills to make this kind of a particular designs, and then they can sell in their market spaces. Next. Yeah, so now we have the last product, which is the namdas. So namdas is basically a mattress kind of a thing, which is made up of the wool, and a lot of the artisan families and the local people from Srinagar use it frequently. Then so what art is done is here the process of flattening the many layers of felted wood is very rigorous. So this kind of a methodological approach has been used to come up with the final product of this. So the craft is said to be have been originated when Akbar, a king, during that time when he was asked when he was asked to for something to cover up his horse. So basically on the horse which you see when they cover up his back and all, this kind of mattresses called namdas has been used. Next. Yeah, so basically one of the major dance forms and the music is called as a ban pathar, which is also a traditional theater, which is also called as the traditional theater, and it is used in the various parts of the Srinagar. So the chakri is also a very popular traditional music of the Kashmir, which is still been practiced in the parts of Srinagar and Jammu Kashmir. And then we have other, and the kind of instruments which they use for this particular thing is sarangi, graha, rabab, and harmonium to perform this kind of a music. So due to this deep cultural foundation of this place and the warmth and hospitality of the local people, Srinagar attracts thousands of tourists every year. You can go to the next slide. So I will speak on the festivals. So in Srinagar, different festivals and fairs, take place with full extreme celebrations and all. I'll speak only on the four or five major festivals. So, but I will give you an overall about all the kinds of the festivals which take place over here. So the important festivals are like Navroz, Uras, Ramzan, Baisakhi, Lohri, the Ganga Astami, Nauria, Mawaz, Gurez, Kheer Bhavani, and the Amartanaj Yatra. You can go to the next slide. So the first festival which I'm going to speak on is the Guris festival. So from 123 kilometers away from the valley of the Kashmir, Guris is a placid valley in the Himalayas, so which is at a height of around 8,000 feet. So, and in this mountain ranges, we have the Neelam River, which flows along this valley, and which makes it a popular destination for the river rafting activities. So the people of the Guris, they basically host this annual festival where they showcase their handicrafts, the cuisines, and their culture. So basically all the people of the valley, they are local people as well as the tourists, they assemble for this kind of a feast where they involve fun activities like river rafting, trekking, zorbing, cycling, etc. So the picture below basically describes that. And then the next festival which we have, which makes Srinagar very unique, is Lohri. Is This festival is basically celebrated in basically the northern parts of India, and basically during the time of the peak winter celebrations, during that time where there is a harvest of a crop. And then it is a festival to celebrate the harvest of the sugarcane crops in January. And people basically they light a bonfire in between, and they sing songs, dance, eat, and a lot of food items have been used, like the corns, the peanuts, the sesame, and the jaggery. You can go to the next slide. Speaking about another festival is called as a Baisakhi and the Tulip Festival. So in Baisakhi is basically celebrated throughout the country on the 13th April, and is a prominent festival of the Sikhs. It's a religion. So the day is basically celebrated as a New Year's by the Sikhs in India. So it basically, this particular date embarks the harvesting season in India, and it's been celebrated in full swing in the state of Kashmir because of the population of the Sikhs in this region. So then we have the harvesting season in the northern India, which also marks this resemblance. Then we have the Tulip Festival, where the Tulip Festival is celebrated at the tulip garden is also spread across the 30 acres of land, which gives it a breathtaking view of the Dal Lake and the snow-capped mountains in the backdrop. So, and yeah, the next slide. Yeah, so we have the benefits of the UCCN tag to the Srinagar. So basically, since the abrogation of the Article 370 in 2019, put artisans in an indefinite lockdown. So because of this, followed by the COVID lockdown, besides frequent internet shutdowns has cut off the artisans from the rest of the country. So when we put Srinagar into this creative art thing, it will help them promote international links, international fundings, making ties, tie-ups, and crafts universities, and pitching crafts as a product. Next. So basically concluding would be, Srinagar showcases a rich cultural and heritage rituals and blends the traditional
practices with modern ones. So due to the deep cultural foundation of this place and the warmth and the hospitality of the local people, it attracts a lot of thousands of tourists every year. The handicrafts industries basically remain an important key in the economic development of Jammu Kashmir and Srinagar, and the industry has a great handout towards employment opportunities. So the handmade products are exported all over the country and the other parts of the world, especially UK and the US. So the Kashmiri handicrafts eliminated financial crisis among those people who have been affected with the physical disabilities also, so that they gave employment opportunities also. And after the handcrafts gained foreign exposure with positive feedback, many youth made this their profession. So the Kashmiri handcrafts is the second largest and the preferable industry after the fruit valley in the Kashmir region. So with this, I complete my presentation. If you all have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Piyush. Dear participants, do you have any questions to Piyush? Please write them to the Zoom chat. And I kindly ask all the speakers to stick the timing, please. So let me continue. By the way, you can find the previous 4 meetings of our program on YouTube. The links there will be in the Zoom chat. So please like, share, and comment them. And now let's move to sunny Brazil. I'm happy to give the floor to Juliana Querubim, chef of Buffet and Belém, Brazil, Belém, UNESCO City of Gastronomy. Juliana, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing, guys? Thank you very much for having me here. I just start sharing my screen with you, or can you slide for me, please? You just do the slides for me, or I share the slides with you guys?
You can do it yourself, Juliana. You can do it yourself.
Okay, thank you. Let's do this then. Thank you guys very much for having us here. I'm Juliana Querubim from Belém do Pará, north of Brazil. Our population is about 1.5 million people, and we have 400 years, and we are surrounded by 42 rivers. Our city is an amazing place to live, but we also very poor. So now, with all the visibility, with the new gastronomy, foreigners are more. Our city is more watchable, and with this we start to hope then you get the resources for contribute to our originary people. Our city, capital of Belém, has the international title of Creativity City of Gastronomy granted by the United Nations Educational, Science and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, since 2015. The capital of Pará has become a world reference in gastronomy and has become part of a network of cities that seek development in sustainable and socially fair way. The Creative City seal is renewed every 4 years, as you know, and dishes in my city, when I talked about this sooner, everything to local gastronomy as well, juicy, sweeties, ice creams, and all the things made with Amazonia fruits. And Belém is one of the 4 Brazilian cities of the creativity gastronomy. Also Florianópolis, Paraty, and Belo Horizonte. About Belém, we are very, very proud to share our roots. With strong indigenous influences and also Europeans, because we are colonized by Portuguese. And with typically Amazonian ingredients, the Paraense cuisine is different and extremely rich in flavors. The abundance of inputs that the largest tropical forests in the world provides for the north in the region allow the construction of dishes that remain in the memory who does to try them. In addition, in many specific preparations, there are of indigenous heritage make all the difference in the final results of our recipes. That's why the culinária paraense is the very much authentic roots of our culture, and we are very proud of it. Our foods with striking aromas bring unforgettable sensations, like the cupuaçu, the bacuri, the taperebá, and the murici. In addition, we also have the strong presence of the world-known açaí, which is in Belém and in Paraense cuisine is consumed in a very different way compared to the other regions. In here, we eat with flour and fish and shrimps. Now talking about the ingredients that appear more in South dishes, we can help but mention the famous tucupi. Tucupi is a unique flavor. We only have here in the north of Brazil. With these ingredients, we make all kinds of foods, but I start with the drinks. Jambu cachaça, for example, is a great success both for this flavor as well for the feeling of numbness in the mouth due natural anesthetic substance in this ingredient. Typical dishes like the duck in tucupi pass through a certain adaptations, but that makes the difference in the meal. In addition of the tucupi broth, this recipe takes jambu leaves and a super special touch. We use the pimenta and the common side dishes, and we eat rice and farinha, makes from cassava. The same accompaniment is also appears in the maniçoba, is a very unique plate. As we mentioned before, the maniva is the main ingredient. We cook with the pork and also dry meats. Is like a variation of the famous Brazilian feijoada. This yellowish broth, easily found in fairs, is the one of the most striking products in our gastronomy. After all, brings all the special touch of acidity in the recipes, provided to the palate the powerful umami. An interesting curiosity about a production process then takes several days because it's necessary to eliminate all the toxins he has in his natural state. Just like the tucupi, we have another ingredient that also comes from cassava, the maniva. And the maniva is a very important ingredient for our foods because is the principal ingredient for cooking the most famous dishes all the time of City de Nazaré, like I said before, the maniçoba. Beside it all, I can't forget the jambu, so the leaves of the tucupi, and we can find them both in preparation for delicious dishes. Brazilian cuisine, the Pará cuisine, sorry, is certainly the most creative of Brazil. Brazilian and foreign cooks are coming to this region looking for inspiration. It is due to originally its possibility of exotic cuisine that Pará is one of the most promises. That's in the photo is the Dirce Anthony Bourdain. He did 3 episodes just for Pará, for Belém do Pará in our magnificent cuisine. In recent years, in recent years, açaí, tacacá, tucupi, maniçoba, pirarucu, who is a fish, sounds and tastes of Pará have attracted the gastronomy specialists around the world. Next, sorry. and get to know Belém do Pará and its gastronomy. It's a unique experience. It's like an interior new, mysterious and exciting universe of colors, flavors, and aromas to immerse us in the life in the largest rainforest in the world. Our expectations is to effectively put Belém in a pulsating heart of the world for our cultural wealth, our ethnic diversity, our biodiversity, and our popular wisdom, added to the scientific wisdom of the gastronomy courses we are implementing in the region. In this photo, I show you guys how we serve our foods. Is in a plate we call cuia, made for the cask of plants, of trees. About the projects, currently the governance of the city in Belém involves the Municipal Tourism Coordination, CODEN, and Abrazel, in addition to the government of state of Pará since 2021. The city participated in the project Gastronomia das Ilhas e do Tempero de Oliva, and relevant projects are underway, such as the completion of the Espaço da Beira, which is a museum of the culinary of Belém, and Boulevard of Gastronomy, which involves the revitalization of Avenida Boulevard Castilho França, the most ancient avenue we had in our city. And the restoration of nations and private initiatives such as breweries, restaurants, and hotels. Other projects are being promoted also, such as schools of gastronomy, agriculture, but the gastronomy school just starts 8 years from now, and the first classes already taking their diplomas. Along with this, restaurants and cities and islands is intended to internalize the service and improve our quality. But with the pandemics as the mitigation action, in gastronomy one in Brazil, the most sectors affected because the pandemics. So all the projects are suspended, and because the public events and festivals and fairs are closed off too. Restaurants and bars in general, establishment with food, try to maintain herself, delivering food and selling by the virtual world. This is the project for the new Boulevard da Gastronomia, as you can say so. The project is already has come, as you can see, and they try to deliver for the community in 2025. The goal of his project to the gastronomy is the urbanism that is being implemented, ensuring a whole treatment for the public tour. The bike path articulated to a cycle path that allows to go bike to all the great monuments and the historic centers of Belém. All this investment is to consolidate the spaces a true tourism spot, a large space of gastronomy, tourism, using labor and cultural richness of local communities. The Boulevard of Gastronomy should also have space for further troops and also have additional to measure with investors to adapt to historical mentions in activities to hotels and restaurants. We have the gastronomic circuit of the island of Belém. We are surrounded by 42 islands, so we can drift by canoe. It's an amazing opportunity to live in the nature. So this event is an interactive circuit of the island on the other side of the river, and will go through all the halls and reach the restaurants in the locality. With the collaboration of the Universidade da Amazônia, who I was a teacher, the cooks of local communities are being qualified, creating specific dishes to contemplate seasonality and region. This our city, and in the brown figure is our rivers, because we have a 42 islands, and in the white, every spot is a restaurant. So we have amazing chefs surrounding our river area. Another project resumes is a circular, the results of articulation in community initiatives in order to create common space for the circulation and meeting of people, occurring every 2 months. These initiatives promote social and cultural actions so that the public is sensitive to the rich material and immaterial heritage of the capital of Pará. The idea is the more than 30 local establishments that are part of the project, including workshop, art galleries, museums, shops, cultural spaces, music schools, bars, and restaurants. Open the door and all Sundays and functional as a secret of dancing, cultural, artistic, and gastronomic programming. When we talk about gastronomy, we talk about a huge production of change. For women who producing cocoa from chocolate to gourmet chocolate around the river. The gastronomy do Pará does only bring to refinement to our palate. It has behind anthropology and history of family lives until we reach the table. Belém is affection, human warmth, flavor, seasoning, and perseverance. We are building a better future for our community, respecting our heritage, enable our society conditions, and open doors with quality, innovation, sustainability, inclusion, and culture for our visitors. Thank you very much for having me here. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Juliana, for your very interesting presentation. Dear participants, please don't hesitate to ask your questions to the speaker. It was Juliana Cherubim, Brazil.
Yes.
So I would like also to remind you, dear friends, that we will send the final booklet to each of you in December, and you will find information about all the creative city mentioned during our program there. And now we move on to South Africa, Durban, UNESCO City of Literature. Let's welcome Sitelo Shangje, Projects and Program Coordinator at Siafila Mangje Foundation, UNFPA, South Africa Youth Advisory Panelist, Youth Policy Committee Member for Youth at SAIA. Sitelo, can you hear us?
Hi, so sorry. I'm truly sorry for the inconvenience. I have an extremely low bandwidth. Greetings with the audience at large. I am Sicelo Shange from South Africa, from the beautiful city of Durban. I am currently a youth advisory panelist for UNFPA South Africa. And thank you so much, Kira, for the screen share. Okay, I would like to notify the audience in advance. I have a problem with my internet connection. It's very unstable. I really have to reprimand my network service provider for that. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. So to make things easier, I have to switch off my camera and only use the sound, because Zoom is able to go and flow properly if the sound is only switched on when the bandwidth is low. So I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you. Everything is okay.
I can see the chat box. Perfect. All right. Without any further ado, I will just switch off my camera and the show must go on. Thank you so much, Kira. You may proceed to the next slide. Okay, Durban is a very beautiful city and it is amongst the UNESCO City of Literature. So there are multiple initiatives that we have implemented within the city of Durban, namely Articulate Africa, mental seminar, there's the Time of the Writer, the One City book campaign, the Poetry Africa. Kira, can you go to the previous slide? I just want to name a few initiatives, I mean, a few campaigns rather. Yeah, thank you, Kira. Slide number 2, please. Kira, can you still view the second slide, please? Yes. Okay, we have the Time of the Writer, the One City, One Book campaign. Oh, yeah, and then the Durban International Film Festival, the Book Behind Award, and so forth, and some proposed action for the forthcoming midterm period. We have various initiatives we want to implement around the city of Durban, and we want to implement initiatives with international partners and the communication strategies. Okay, you can proceed to the visuals, Kira. So Articulate Africa is a literature and a book and an arts festival where there are various seminars and workshops within the festival. The focus of Articulate Africa is on different facets where within the seminar within the festival, we hosted a mental health seminar where we had panelists from every walk of life to engage and interact. And within the same festival, the Articulate Africa Festival, we have had book launches, we have had youth dialogues where we look at the social challenges faced by young people and how we can apply literature to respond to the social challenges that young people face. Also, the other factors were the importance of visual art. We integrated the launches of different visual artists from the Durban diaspora to showcase their exhibitions all within the same festival. You can proceed to the next slide, Kira. So I intentionally used visuals so that I can get an idea of the illustrations and the visuals for the campaigns. You can proceed to the next slide, Kira. Slide number 2. Thank you. All right. Amongst our campaigns, besides Articulate Africa, we have the Time of the Writer and the One City, One Book campaign. So what these, you can stay within, no need to proceed to other illustrations. I will use the illustrations to talk about the festivals and the campaigns we have, all the initiatives. I'll just start by speaking about the book launch. Okay, this book launch was motivated by a writer's workshop where we had authors from every walk of life showing their short stories in a compilation celebrating indigenous languages. South Africa has a vast array of languages, including isiZulu, where my province is located in KwaZulu-Natal. So the budding authors were given an opportunity to market and showcase their books, as well as equipping them with skills to further their craft, as well as their self-published or published books which were printed electronically. So we had a vast array of exhibitions where we had a Mary Sibanda exhibition, and then we had Paxton Sparks Banda, who had his book launch, where the name of the book was Sparks of Fire. And then there was just a seminar, which is a very touching seminar, where it focused on mental illness and addressing depression, because these are one of the killers in South Africa, and there's little to no attention that is given to them. So according to the South African Anxiety Group, which is an NGO, there are cases of suicide that are reported every day. So we saw it fit to actually have an exhibition, or rather to have a panel discussion where we have every person from every walk of life to discuss and convene of that. And then we also have a junior creatives playground that addresses the challenges that people face. I mean, we came from a post-pandemic era. It was post-COVID-19. So the Junior Creatives Playground, it took place at the Bay of Plenty and North Beach, and it was just meant to transform. It was an interactive creative zones for all ages. As you can see, it's the picture below the gentleman holding his microphone. Speaking of the Time of the Writer, yeah, the illustration is below, Kira. You can proceed. Yes, thank you so much. It's below on the second row. the photo in the center. The Time of the Writer Festival, it promotes South African and African writers in the current cultural climate. I mean, it sees literature as part of a more significant social progress. We use it to build social cohesion, nation building within the South African and the African continent. I mean, the festival, it continues and it has encouraged debating and dialogue and discourse at large. So we use all forms of spoken and written word as part of the center's creative agenda. I mean, the Time of the Writer is one of the largest and longest running literature festivals in South Africa. I mean, over the years, it has hosted a vast array and a variety of internationally acclaimed thought leaders, such as Uzakes Mda and Violet Bulawayo. And the theme that we had in 2018 was just to change the narrative, where we change the narrative towards literature, where we have a new generation of scholars on the rise, where they recognize the African intellect and its contribution to literature and the African Renaissance. Without any further ado, I would like to proceed to speaking about the Time of the Writer Festival, the sub-festival that we had. We had guests from every walk of life, which included an activist, where we had a publishing forum at the KZN South Africa Gallery, where a special curated panel offered an open discussion on the state of publishing in South Africa. The topics ranged from what, where, and how we're getting our words published, and the sole focus was to set the rate of books store closures, to just set against it, because there was a rate of bookstores closures in the KZN diaspora. We also had the 23rd Time of the Writer International Festival, which took place from the 16th to the 21st at UKZN, and we had different literary personalities, which included Umam Nozizwe Cynthia Jele and Haska Shirian from the Ukraine. So now the sole purpose is to also encourage high school learners, which we have them submitting their short stories for the annual short story competition, which was held in conjunction with the Time of the Writer Festival. The competition aimed to encourage creative expression in young people while functioning as a springboard for the future of writers in South Africa.
GRC Telo, please hurry up.
Proceeding to the One City, One Book campaign, we know that a reading nation is a clever one. So the eThekwini municipality initiated the One City, One Book campaign to just encourage a culture of reading in society and to promote social cohesion. The aim of the campaign was to identify one book which members of the community will read over a determined period. It can be approximately over a year, and then they engage them with the message and the content of the book on various platforms such as race, culture, class, and gender. The chosen book must appeal to a variety of readers and must be available in various versions and formats to accommodate a diversity of readers. It must have one major theme on which the story runs, together with other sub-themes and sub-narratives that can be explored by the reader. The book must be written in more than one South African official language. This One City, One Book campaign was initiated in 2013, and the book Long Walk to Freedom was chosen for 2013 to 2014. During the Heritage Month celebrations, a group of esteemed personalities, businessmen, politicians, and school children were given an opportunity to interpret to an audience what the book meant to them and how they had understood the various sections without the book. The young and old were given the chance they never had and the opportunity to learn more about South African history whilst doing it in a very fun-filled, interactive, and relaxed environment. You can proceed, Kira. Thank you so much. I'm sure each and every one of you is asking themselves, why Durban? Well, Durban is rich in literary culture. It's not only the heritage, but we have the Albert Luthuli Center, the Ellen Patton Center, the Bessie Head, and it has one of the top-ranked tertiary institution, University of KwaZulu-Natal, DUT, Mangosuthu University of Technology, AFDA, which is an art and creative institution. including programs in learning languages, literature, and journalism. And it has this beautiful legacy of pioneering newspaper publications, where we have Ilanga, Indian Opinion, where all races within the diversity of South Africa are accommodated in their home languages. That's the beauty of the pioneering newspaper and the reading culture in Durban. It's also home to all these bookstores and so forth. Next slide, please, Kira.
Could you finalize, please?
All right. You can just go to the very, very last slide, the second to last. All right. Durban is also home to the Minara Aziz Award, literally award, and it hosts reading and writing clubs and branch libraries. It facilitates, oh shush. Just two previous slide before the focus areas. Two previous slides. Yeah, okay. Also the work of the UNESCO City Literature has concentrations on 3 focal areas, which is project cooperation. Yeah, okay. Durban is good for hosting reading and writing culture and branch libraries, facilitating homework club for learners, assisting patrons to write CVs and post them online, which is very in need for the abatement of unemployment, because the highest rate in South Africa, in one of the social challenges, is the unemployment rate, and promoting local writers through stocking their books, showcasing their work, and providing them with platforms to talk about their works, and then holding workshops to assist with the economic empowerment of the populace, and holding career exhibitions to assist young people to find the educational courses best suited for their needs. Thank you so much, and I truly apologize for the inconvenience with the bandwidth. Thank you so much, Kira.
Thank you, dear Sicelo. Thank you. It was our colleague from South Africa. So I would like to remind you that in Russia, there are several grant-giving organizations which support projects and initiatives related to international cooperation. And they really help to put creative ideas into practice. If you, dear participants, know such grant competitions in your countries, please share in our Zoom chat. This is very useful information for all the young people here. And now I'm giving the floor to our next speaker, Harry Singh, from the Indian city of Chennai, UNESCO City of Music. Harry Singh, entrepreneur, research scholar, PhD in international relations, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Please, Harry, can you hear us?
Здравствуйте, дорогие русские друзья. Namaste at ENG. Thank you so much for organizing this, creative event. So today I'm here to talk about Chennai, why it has been included as the UNESCO Creative City of Music. So not taking more time, I will briefly talk about my presentation. My presentation, because due to time limit. So we know about UNESCO UCCN that was launched in 2004, and it is an international program. Currently 300 cities across the world. So Chennai is selected as the UNESCO City of Music. So important is why Chennai? Why Chennai has been selected as the UNESCO City of Music? So Chennai is the third Indian city, the list of UNESCO Creative City of Music, after Varanasi and Jaipur. So there are 6 cities which is included in UNESCO Creative City. Chennai, which is known as the gateway of southern India, and its population is approximately 6.5 million, and it was formerly known as Madras, and it's connected for 6,000 years of musical traditions. So in India, basically, music has been passed down through generations with the Gurukulam method. If you can see my screen, here disciples are, playing music with their gurus. So earlier we had a traditional method of teaching that is known as Gurukul. So, Chennai's music scene is closely linked with the creation of social cohesion in urban life. And in Chennai, is known for Carnatic music. Carnatic music and Indian classical vocal music. It is a submerged, subject genre of Chennai organizes a 2-month music session touted to be among the largest music festival in the world. Tourists and not the audience only from the India, but from all over the globe, they used to visit this mega events and they witness this festival. So Chennai, the Chennai Samagam Fest event has been set to regenerate ancient villages and engage artists from rural zones, and the Urar Olkat Kupam Margai festivals focuses on using music as a tool for unity of different communities and cultures in India. Like basically, it is an amalgamation, or you can say multicultural programs for India. So coming to the next slide. Musical projects in Chennai. So in Chennai, there are several musical projects, but I would like to highlight the important one because of lack of the time. So here the concert at the park. So this was initiated by the local governing body, which has aimed to bring performance in public spaces and its audiences. Their plan is to present people an experience of the 7 creative fields, that is crafts and folk art, design, film, gastronomy, literature, media, and music, etc. So why, they don't want it to confine to the auditorium. That is why they have moved it to the park. We have a culture of this Nukkad Natak at Gully, at the street, so that music is not confined only to the auditorium. It should reach out to the local places, streets, roads, park, etc. And the next is the pan. Pan is a musical moods that outline landscapes such as Kurenzi, agricultural fields in ancient Sangam literature. It has been, woven it a sublime arrangement of programmable music by 41 visual and musical artists from Chennai. This project was commissioned for the mega event by Vignesh Sudarshan. He was the founder and financier of NFT investment fund Metaphase. Now this important festival of Chennai. So here you can see ladies from different, in different costumes. They are playing music. In the background, you can see the photo of the, Lord. So this, I'm talking about the Margai festival, which is one of the important festival of dance and music in Chennai. So this is commonly known as the Margai festival. The dance and music festival is celebrated in the month of Margai, like there is known as the winter. It starts from 16th of December, 17th of December to 16th of January. And this festival holds great importance as Carnatic music is considered the best medium to pay homage to the gods. And you might be interested in what is Carnatic music. So Carnatic music is a system of music associated with South India, including Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, etc. So these are the one of the main subgenre of Indian classical music that evolved from the Hindu texts and traditions. it is also known as Samveda. So coming like this the Marghai, so this festival is a blend of both melody and divinity. So here you can see in the photographs, like, about the divinity and the music. So this performance primarily travels around the song of Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada language, basically the local language of the city. And by the end of the Margai time, to bid adieu to the dance and music festival comes, the focus is shifted to the Thagarai Music Festival that is celebrated in Andhra Pradesh. And coming to the next, this is the Sangamam Festival in Chennai. So Sangamam Festival, this festival is a large open Tamil festival, also coincides with the Pongal season. And it is organized in various open facilities like beaches, parks, etc. And showcases traditional folk events, martial arts, and classical dance, to name a few. In addition, this festival brings together the best that South Indian cuisine has to offer, from tasty panoramas to the traditional pongal. So here, this is like about the musical events in Chennai. So if you go to Chennai on daily basis, they do organize the musical events. So recently, like I will talk about the recent events. So that is the Bharat Sangeet Utsav 2022. It was like, Spirit of India Icons Musical Compositions, which was organized by Karnataka and Sri Pathasarthi Swami Sabha. So see, the important thing is like why to join UNESCO Creative City Network. What are the benefits and advantages of joining, or after getting selected? So the important thing is that it is an active platform of exchange and collaboration, not only about ideas, cultures, etc. And it highlights local cultural and creative assets. It transforms global challenges into local opportunities. And it strengthens a local economy through cultural, creative, and economic sectors. It supports tourism. If you are the part of this creative organizations, so there is a bit of better visibility and recognition, not only at local and national level, but at international level also. So yeah, so I would conclude my presentation. So Chennai is rich in musical traditions that dates back many centuries, and the city contributes to India's cultural heritage is invaluable. The city deserves the recognition not just for its music, but also in the field of gastronomy. Perhaps it should be recognized for its films as well. Chennai, to become a true creative city, music must leave the confines of auditorium and fill the streets. As I mentioned during my presentations, that I talked about concert at the park. So through this, the spirit of creativity will be able to manifest in more places, and more will have to will have access to it. So I will conclude my presentation with a quotation by Hans Christian Andersen. He's quoted I would quote, "Where words fail, music speaks." So that is the power of the music. So thank you so much, Kira, and your youth organizations for organizing such a beautiful conference or event. And thank you all. If you have any questions, you can put it and you can directly ask to me. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Harry, our Indian colleague from Chennai, UNESCO City of Music. Thank you very much. So, dear friends, I would like to thank all the speakers and participants of the 5th online meeting within the Creative Cooperation Program, UNESCO Creative Cities of the BRICS countries, Art Together. Next meeting will be in a month on the 15th of December at the same time, and it will be the final meeting of our program. I will be happy to see all of you. The topic will be co-creation, the birth of collaborations of UNESCO cities of the BRICS countries. Please keep in touch and see you next month.